Okay, so today we're going to be making a real simple Spanish rice that my grandmother used to make, and we're going to make it exactly the way she used to make it. So this is what it is. Okay, so it's Knorr bullion, and you can do that in the form of a cube. If you get some of those little bricks, you can use half a brick for the amount that we're making with a 1 cup of rice. Okay, and the other really important one is she used Contadina. She always used Contadina tomato sauce, one of the small cans, a small can per cup of rice. Okay, and she used corn oil. And I'm using corn oil to make it exactly like she used to make it, but I actually like to use lard. Okay, we've got 1 clove of garlic, which we're going to split, and then we've got an onion here, but we're not going to use the whole onion. We're just going to use a little bit of onion to add some flavor. We've got a 1.5 cups of water here to go ahead and hydrate the rice. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the stove up on medium heat. I've got a pan that's maybe a little, it's a generous size for the amount that we've got, so it's going to fill up, when the rice is done, it's going to fill up maybe half of this pan, but it's better to go bigger and to have room than to go too small. Okay, and this is about a 3-quart pan, I think. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the corn oil and you're going to generously cover the bottom of the pan with oil. Okay, and let that heat up real good. Then once it's nice and hot, then we're going to go ahead and add the rice in to toast the rice. Okay. Okay, so I think our oil's pretty hot right now, so let's go ahead and hit it with a grain of rice and see if it's going to sizzle. And we're getting a good little sizzle there. So we're going to go ahead and dump the rest of the rice in. Okay. And you can see that it's starting to sizzle pretty good right there. See that? And what you want to do is you just want to kind of make sure and distribute that oil all throughout the rice. It's got to heat up again because the rice cooled it off. But as it heats up, it's going to start toasting that rice very nicely. You just wait. It's very easy to burn this rice, okay, when you're doing this. So you've got to really kind of make sure and you start on medium heat. You can raise it just a little bit. You can raise the heat just a little bit, but keep an eye on it, okay? Okay, so here you can see that some of the rice is getting a little bit toasted. And you just keep going until all of it's kind of evenly toasted. I'm getting some of it up off the bottom there. That oil is smoking a little bit. That's fine. If it starts getting a little too hot, you can turn it back down just a little bit. Okay. I've got it on right on medium right now. I had it just a notch above medium there for a second just to get it heated up. So it's looking pretty good. It's going to need about another minute there. Okay. So it's looking pretty toasty right there. It's got that kind of like a brownish, maybe a reddish color. Okay. So the next step is you're going to take a slice of onion. I would say it's going to end up being about 1/3 of a cup, maybe 1/4 of a cup. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, that's about how much I've got. Okay, and I've diced it up, and I'm just going to get it in there with the rice and start mixing it in there. Okay, make sure all that onion gets distributed. And then you're gonna go ahead and stir it up with the rice. It's gonna really make the room smell good. And you're gonna do this for about a minute until the onion gets kind of clear. Okay. And then you're gonna take the garlic. Clove of garlic, and you can go ahead and throw that in there with the onion. Mix it around. Okay, and so you're just going to get that tomato sauce in there. It's going to steam up real heavy. And you're just going to cook it with the tomato sauce for a little. Okay, so if you're using this powder, I get about a teaspoon of the powder, and you can go ahead and sprinkle it in with the into the pan with the tomato sauce and the rice. Okay, and go ahead and mix it in first, and that evenly distributes it, and then you can go ahead and hit it with the water. Okay. Okay, I got the cup and a half of water in there, and now you go ahead and turn that up on high until it boils, and you're going to cook it just like you would any other rice. It's going to cook for about 20 minutes. After you start boiling, you cover it and cook it for about 20 minutes. Okay, and then we'll show you how to do the rest of it. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of garlic powder. I always like to balance out the garlic flavor. And we're going to go ahead and put in the salt. Now, just before it starts boiling, I'm putting in 1 teaspoon of salt. And that ought to come out perfect right there with a teaspoon of salt. But of course, afterwards you can add some by just sprinkling it after it's being served. Okay. And you just leave that clove of garlic in there, and you can pull that out later on, or you can just go ahead and eat it. It actually tastes really good. Some people don't want the whole clove of garlic though. Okay, so as you can see, it's boiling really well right now. I'm going to go ahead and cover it, turn it down on simmer. I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. We'll come back and show you what it looks like. So the rice has been cooking 20 minutes, and it's been with the lid on at all times. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take it right off the heat, and we're going to lift up the lid for about 10-15 seconds, okay, to get all the extra moisture out of it. That's what it looks like right now, okay. Oh, gotta get that light going. Yep. That's what it's looking like right now. So we're going to let all that extra steam get out of there so that it ends up more fluffy, okay. And then we're going to just put the lid right back on. And we're going to hit the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to leave it to steam to sit there for 10 minutes. And then we're going to fluff it after that. Okay? Okay, so it's been sitting off the heat for about 10 minutes. Okay? And now we're just going to fluff it real quick. Okay? Oh, it's looking great. Perfect consistency. Some of that sauce collects there in the middle, so you just want to kind of, while you're fluffing it, just kind of distribute it out throughout the rice, and it's looking really good. Okay, so now that we've fluffed it, we're going to go ahead and let it sit there for another 5 minutes. Okay, so the rice is done now. It's been, after we fluffed it, it's been there for 5 minutes, and it looks perfect. So the next thing to do is go ahead and give it a quick taste and see what it tastes like. Look how nice and fluffy it is. It's not too sticky. It's the right consistency, and it smells amazing. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh man. It's amazing how something so simple can just be so good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and serve some in a bowl so you can see how it is served. But this would normally be a side with whatever your, with beans would be your other side, and whatever your entree is. And there you go, folks. That is a simple, basic Spanish rice from New Mexico and for New Mexico food.